Buenas tardes y muy bienvenidos, estimados padres de familia. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, parents, and our community partners. Estamos muy felices con su presencia y muy agradecidos por la oportunidad de compartir información tras nuestras escuelas, su salud y la seguridad de nuestros alumnos y niños. Hoy hablaremos de la importancia de atender nuestras escuelas cada día para asegurar que cada estudiante se prepare para sus futuros cuando gradúen como candidatos para el colegio, el ejército o la fuerza laboral. This evening we are so very proud to host this of countless informative sessions that we have had throughout the years. I would like to give a big round of applause to our parent engagement program headed by Ms. Pat Campos for bringing all of you together and for giving us the opportunity to work with you to share what this fall for Laredo ISD means for you. But before we would begin, I would like to ask our Board of Trustees to please rise and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. With this being said, I would like to introduce some of our guests tonight who make this evening a very special one because we are beginning a brand new school year. So let me begin by introducing you or to reintroducing you to our LISD Board of Trustees who are here with us tonight. Representing District 1, Trustee Juan Ramirez. Representing District 2, Trustee Mr. Rudy Morales. Representing District 3, Trustee Veronica Orduño. And shortly, we will have with us, representing District 5, Trustee Goyo Lopez. So 3 of our trustees could not be here tonight, but they understand the importance of being part of your children's lives. Es muy importante para reconocer que todos que estamos aquí en esta noche representamos un partido unido que va a obrar para sus hijos. Es importante para hacer todo lo posible para que ellos puedan tener triunfos en nuestras escuelas y al mismo tiempo que cuando salgan de nuestras escuelas ellos ya estén bien preparados para sus futuros. I would like to tell you that this meeting, this session, is about sharing with you, parents, how important it is to work together for the benefit of our kids. Everything that we do every single day is a step in solidifying their futures. Whether it's reading a book, opening a book, getting on a bus, participating in an extracurricular activity, or participating in any of our programs. Every single experience is something that can help them triumph in their journeys as they move forward. So with that being said, I would like to introduce to you some of the individuals who are working on behalf of our children. And I would like to also please ask you to focus at some of the representatives here who are our community partners. So let's begin by welcoming our newly appointed Chief of Police, Mr. Miguel Rodriguez. I would also like to ask our investigator and, I'm going to say it the wrong way, but let's just say with our investigator, longtime Nixon fan, Mr. Joey Baeza. Our Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction, Dr. Gerardo Cruz. Our Assistant Superintendent for Finance and School Accountability, Ms. Flor Ayala. Our Assistant Superintendent for Student Services, Ms. Maggie Martinez. Our Executive Director for School Safety, Dr. Oscar Perez. Our LISD Chief of Police, Chief Hale, Doreen Hale. Our Coordinator for Parental Engagement, Ms. Pat Campos. I would also like to welcome a very special guest who has always partnered with us in supporting our initiatives for the well-being of our students, Judge Oscar Liendo. We also have some cabinet members. Will you also please rise? And I would like to tell you that every single person in this place today is working for your children. They are working for our students and for their futures. So with that being said, I would like to ask Dr. Cruz to please come by and talk to us a little bit about the importance of what we're doing as a school district so that every single child is prepared for any career that they choose. But before then, we have 3 door prizes to begin with. So, you have a ticket in front of you. It's almost like bingo night. Okay, who has number 423430? 423430. Very good, thank you. Will you take her gift? There's a gift card in there and some little goodies. Muchas gracias por atender esta noche. Es muy importante para nosotros que podamos compartir toda la información en esta noche. Okay. All right, ready? Number 423466. 423466. Thank you so much for being part of the team. Okay, and how about, this is our last prize, porque van a ser 4 veces que vamos a hacer esto. Okay, last prize for right now, 423431. There she is. Thank you so much for giving us the gift of your presence. Okay, Dr. Cruz?
Good afternoon, parents. My name is Dr. Gerardo Cruz. I'm the Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction. Here, who's going to be assisting with me with the Spanish translation is Mr. Jose Cerda, our Executive Director for Secondary Education. Right now, parents, we are involved in receiving some of our STAR data, but there is some changes to our state accountability system. In the fall, or which is happening right now, Texas will complete the refresh for the A through F academic accountability rating system that measures the performance of public school systems. So what does that mean? As we all know, the state of Texas grades not only, we as educators not only going to grade our students in the classroom, but they also grade how our school districts and schools do. Schools can garner a grade of either an A, a B, a C, or a D, and that includes school districts as well. And that is based on the performance of our STAR assessment that our students undertake. For elementary, our elementary students take a reading language arts STAR, mathematics and science. For our middle school students, they take reading language arts, mathematics, science, and social studies. And high school, English 1 and English 2, algebra, biology, and U.S. history. So why is this happening? This happens every 5 years because the Texas Education Agency wants to up the game and wants to be sure that the expectations are being met to ensure that Texas remains as the leader in education, as well as preparing our students for success after graduation. So parents, you have received some of your STAR results, and we're anxiously awaiting those results at the state level, and schools and districts will not be rated until October. So we're going to be waiting for those assessments.
Actualmente el estado de Texas se encuentra haciendo unas revisiones para actualizar los resultados y poner en práctica qué sistemas y cómo se van a calificar a nuestras escuelas públicas. Ese mismo rating también se le va a dar a los distritos. Actualmente se puede dar una calificación desde una A hasta desafortunadamente una F. ¿Qué son los criterios que se usan para medir ese desempeño de los estudiantes? Si es en una primaria, es inglés y lectura, con escritura incluida, matemáticas y ciencias en el 5º grado. En las escuelas intermediarias, o lo que le llamamos our middle schools, es escritura y lectura, matemáticas, ciencias y ciencias sociales, y en las preparatorias o nuestras secundarias, our high schools, es inglés 1, inglés 2, álgebra, biología y historia de los Estados Unidos. ¿Por qué ahora? Después de 5 años o cada 5 años se tiene que actualizar el sistema para estar al corriente. La otra es, después de las rezagas de una pandemia como el COVID, hay que actualizar las calificaciones que se le otorgan a las escuelas o los campus y a los distritos. Texas, siendo el líder en educación en los Estados Unidos, continúa a ejercer no nomás los propósitos para que los estudiantes gradúen, qué van a hacer después de que se gradúen, que estén preparados después del sistema educativo público.
So this year we are going to see different STAR results. They are going to be different because not only did TA, the state of Texas, change the accountability measures, though, how we garner our A, B, C, or D, or F, they also changed the STAR assessment. It's called STAR 2.0. This test is much more rigorous, different type of questions, much more difficult, less multiple choice questions, and more open answered items for our students to do well on. Because of this new STAR test, these student results may decrease compared to prior years because it's a different test. So campus letter grades may also change, but this does not mean that our students are not learning. Just because they did not grow as much doesn't mean that our students are learning. When we receive our STAR results, they may have passed, which is good, but the state of Texas is also saying, well, students also have to pass and they also have to grow from prior year. So how can we compare an old test to a new test? So we just want to rest assured parents that when you receive your STAR results from your child, that doesn't mean that they're not learning. In fact, our STAR results look very good right now, and we're comparable to the region and to the state.
Con el nuevo examen, STAR 2.0, es un examen un poquito más riguroso. Nuestros estudiantes lo tomaron por primera vez en la primavera del 2023. Ya nos llegaron los resultados y ha habido unas mejoras y unas partes donde tenemos deficiencias. Había anticipación de que las calificaciones probablemente no iban a ser iguales cuando se estaban comparando dos diferentes exámenes, el del 2022 y el del 23, siendo cual el del 2023 es un poquito más riguroso e incluye escritura en cada una de las materias donde se está dando la prueba. Entonces, sí hubo diferencia en las calificaciones del año pasado con este año, no nomás con los estudiantes, sino también en los planteles, en las escuelas y en los distritos a través del estado de Texas. Eso no quiere decir que nuestros estudiantes no estuvieron aprendiendo, sino las mejoras o el crecimiento que se esperaba es un poquito más difícil de medir basado en nuevas fórmulas que el estado ha impuesto. Inclusive, hasta el momento, todavía se está trabajando en esas calculaciones.
So as parents, how can parents help their child do well in school? Students should be going to school every day. Attendance matters. If they're not in school, they are not learning. Review homework with your child, ask questions, what's going on in the classroom, review what kind of work that their students are doing at home. And contact your child's teacher and principal. If you have any questions, please contact your teacher. Teachers do have planning periods, which you can make an appointment to discuss your child's progress. And we also offer after-school and Saturday tutorials. These are going to be very important. Some students may struggle, and our teachers know that, and it's just this added extra boost that we give to our students so they can do well. So when you see Saturday or after-school tutorials, please do send your children because that just guarantees that they're going to do well, not only a STAR, but also in their grade level as well.
¿Cómo nos pueden ayudar los padres para que nuestros estudiantes, sus hijos, sobresalgan? Y no solamente en cómo dan el resultados en las pruebas estatales, sino en su programa académico. Los estudiantes no deberían de faltar, asistir a clases todos los días. Cualquier día que están ausentes es un día perdido de instrucción. Les pedimos a los padres que nos ayuden revisando las tareas de sus hijos e hijas, que les pregunten qué aprendieron este día. También les pedimos que nos ayuden poniendo citas con sus maestros, comunicándose con su maestro o su maestra para poder saber cómo va su hijo o hija. Hay calificaciones que se otorgan cada 3 semanas o cada 6 semanas. Es importante que asistan a esas noches donde se visita con los maestros, con los padres y se otorgan las calificaciones. La otra cosa que les pedimos es que los estudiantes asistan a nuestras tutorías. Es instrucción adicional. Muchas veces no es para que solamente pasen, sino para que el logramiento que tienen sea un poquito más alto. Si están apenas pasando, que le llamamos approaches, que lleguen al meets, a una meta media. Si están en meets, que lleguen al masters, que es lo más alto que un estudiante puede sacar. Y eso nos indica que el estudiante no solamente está aprendiendo, sino se está preparando para poder entrar al colegio.
Ok, ¿ya están listos para más door prizes? ¿Ya están? Ok, 3 más. Ok. Lo que dijeron ahorita mis colegas es muy importante. Ustedes como parte de este, ¿cómo se dice? De este initiative, es muy importante que todos trabajemos juntos. Ustedes en sus casas y nosotros al mismo tiempo en nuestras escuelas. So, okay, ya están listos. All right. 4, 2, 3, 4, 7, 4. 4, 2, 3, 4, 7, 4. Over here. Good job. Okay? 4, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. 4, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. Yay! All right, ready? 4, 2, 3, 4, 7, 5. 4, 2, 3, 4, 7, 5. Bingo. La importancia que nuestros estudiantes asisten en nuestras escuelas todos los días es para sus beneficios. Y ahorita les quiero introducir a Ms. Ayala, Assistant Superintendent for Finance and Accountability, and Mr. Israel Castilla, para hablar un tantito de la importancia de que todos nuestros estudiantes asistan a nuestras escuelas. Ms. Ayala.
Vamos a empezar la presentación en inglés y yo voy a traducir esa presentación en inglés al español.
Thank you so much for being here tonight. And again, just following the academics, and why is it important? How does attendance affect student learning? So again, children who are chronically absent in kindergarten and first grade are far less likely to read proficiently at the end of the third grade. Also, when students show or have chronic absenteeism in early grades can predict lower test scores, poor attendance, and retention in later grades. Further, we can say that students who miss 3 or more days of school in a month show lower average test scores in reading and math. So when we have that absenteeism in the middle school and high schools, we can predict that the student might not finish high school. So the negative effects can be related to the continuous year, where the students will remain academically well behind the rest of the peers.
¿Cómo afecta la asistencia al aprendizaje de los estudiantes? Los niños que están crónicamente ausentes en el kinder y en el primer grado tienen menos probabilidades de leer con competencia baja al final del tercer grado. El ausentismo crónico en los primeros grados puede predecir puntuaciones más bajas en los exámenes y la retención en los grados posteriores. También los estudiantes que faltan 3 o más días de escuela en un mes muestran un promedio de puntaje más bajo en lectura y matemáticas. El ausentismo en la secundaria puede predecir el riesgo de no terminar su educación. Finalmente, los efectos negativos de las ausencias en un año continúan el año siguiente, causando que el estudiante permanezca atrasado en su aprendizaje.
Did you know that state compulsory attendance law requires that students between the ages of 6 and 19 must attend school and district-required tutorial sessions? Also, this applies to pre-kindergarten and kindergarten students enrolled in school. Students must attend 90% of class days or there is a result might be of loss of credit or be retained. For example, you have a class that is in a semester, the student must be in class and learn at minimum 80 days of that class for that semester. When we look at a class in the year, so that will be your elementary and middle school, a student must be at minimum 158 days present in order for them to get credit or be promoted to the next school year. Also, there is consequences. So we can have, if a student has more than 10 unexcused absences, students can be filed for truancy court. And as well, in truancy court, they might be fining the parents either for up to $500 or also add additional court fees.
¿Sabía usted que la Ley Estatal de Asistencia Obligatoria requiere que los estudiantes entre 6 y 19 años de edad deben asistir a las sesiones de tutoría requeridas por la escuela? Y esto aplica para estudiantes de pre-kinder y kinder matriculados en la escuela hasta el 12º grado. También la ley requiere que los estudiantes deben asistir el 90% de los días de clase o como resultado será la pérdida de crédito o el ser retenido. Por ejemplo, clase semestral requiere el mínimo de 80 días de asistencia por clase. Clase anual requiere el mínimo de 158 días de asistencia y aplica a las escuelas primarias. Y clase de 9 semanas requiere 40 días de asistencia por clase. Sobre todo, es importante saber que más de 10 ausencias sin justificación se presentará ante el Tribunal de Ausentismo Escolar con la posible multa de hasta $500 más los costos judiciales.
Again, why should it matter to you? As a parent, we want for our students to receive class credit and grade level promotion. Also, increase the chances for successful achievement in academics, as well higher achievement in testing, ensure graduation, and develop the fundamental math and reading skills as they go through our school system. Further, we want them to build a habit of good attendance that will carry them into college and their career.
¿Por qué debería importarle? Es importante para usted y para los estudiantes adquirir crédito de clase o promoción de nivel de grado, también para aumentar las posibilidades de lograr éxitos académicos, también tener mayor logro en las pruebas, asegurar la graduación, desarrollar las habilidades fundamentales de matemáticas y lectura, así como el desarrollo del hábito de buena asistencia que los llevará a la universidad y a su carrera. In closing, a significant amount of research has demonstrated the relationship between student attendance and student achievement. Students missing fewer than 10% of their school year achieve better academic results and a host of other positive outcomes. En conclusión, estudios han demostrado la relación entre la asistencia de los estudiantes y el rendimiento académico. Estudiantes que faltan menos de 10% de su año escolar logran mejores resultados académicos y una serie de otros resultados positivos. Si tiene preguntas o necesita ayuda, comuníquese con la oficina de asistencia de su escuela. For questions or assistance with your child's attendance, please contact the attendance office at your school. You can also dial the numbers that appear on the screen. También puede llamar a los números que se encuentran en las pantallas. Muchas gracias por su asistencia hoy. Apreciamos a ustedes y a sus familias.
Thank you. Everybody ready for 3 more? Okay? 3 more prizes. And you have the tickets that you drew, right? Okay, ready? Okay. 4, 2, 3, 4, 6, 6. ¿No están aquí? 4, 2, 3, 4, 6, 6. This is something that was called out already?
Sorry, they put them there. They said they added 3.
Sorry.
Here, give me those.
Dicen, ahora a lo mejor se va a llevar los otros. Okay, 4, 2, 3, 4, 7, 9. 7, 9. Over there. Yay! You see, they weren't paying attention. Okay, 4, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2. 4, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2. There you are. There you go. And last one, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. There you go, right there. Good job. So, one of the reasons that we wanted to meet with you today is because we can talk about grades, we can talk about attendance, but none of that matters if we do not do everything that is possible to include safety in our schools. And I am very, very proud of our district. Every year, almost every month, every week, we have what you call safety audits. So in our schools, there is an officer that comes from the valley, and they come to see if they can get into our schools. They come to see what kind of protections and protocols we have in our schools. And they give us a list. If we do not pass, then our schools are told and they are reported so that we have to look at what we need to be able to do to pass this inspection. This inspection is for every school in the state of Texas. Ya me hablaron hasta mañana, así como cada año hay unas personas que son oficiales y ellos están empleados por el estado de Texas para ir a inspectar a nuestras escuelas. Esto fue un resultado de lo que pasó en Uvalde. Les quiero decir que estamos muy orgullosos, ¿verdad? De todo lo que hacemos para nuestras escuelas, para que todos tienen la seguridad de que en nuestras escuelas están seguras, que hacemos lo posible que requiere el Estado. Ahorita las personas que siguen van a hablar de todo lo que hacemos en nuestras escuelas, todo lo que es requerido y al mismo tiempo los partners que tenemos aquí en nuestras escuelas con our City of Laredo police officers, as well as our Webb County officials, as well as our Department of Public Safety. Todos se unen porque nosotros sabemos qué importantes son las vidas de nuestros estudiantes. Nosotros sabemos que somos una escuela muy grande, un distrito muy grande. Ahorita casi 21,000 estudiantes están atendiendo nuestras escuelas. Hay casi 4,000 empleados que trabajan para el LISD que también tienen esa responsabilidad de asegurar la salud y el bienestar de nuestros estudiantes, también todos que están empleados por el distrito. We can talk so much about what is important in our schools, but unless we join together and we look and see what is required, I will tell you that this morning I got a phone call from the employees that are going to be walking and working in our schools to see if they can enter into our schools, to see that our doors are working, to see that everything that we have works, including who lets you into a school, who tells you you can leave a school, what happens when they get on a bus, what happens when they get off of a bus. We want our kids to have the same futures, the same experiences that we had. I know if I were to ask you, were you in sports when you were in high school? What did you enjoy about middle school? What did you enjoy about elementary? Who was your best teacher? Who was your worst teacher? Which was the hardest teacher? Which was the easiest teacher? Everybody remembers. But I will tell you that times have changed. And with that change, we as a district also are required to change. Not only by the mandates that the state requires, but because our community deserves the best for our children. So I would like to ask Dr. Oscar Perez to talk about some of the things that we have done. And then I would like to ask Chief Doreen Hale to come forward and to introduce our guests who will be talking about the efforts that the City of Laredo Police Department is employing so that we can safeguard our students, so that every day is a safe day, so that everything that we do for our children is something that will guarantee that they can move forward and attend the college of their choice, be employed wherever they want to be employed, and at the same time, if they decide to leave Laredo, that they leave Laredo with everything that is possible so that they can enjoy lives that are productive and safe. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to ask Mr. Perez to please talk a little bit today, and we're going to be talking about this as the year moves on, about some of the things that we're doing, and then Chief Hale will come and talk a little bit and introduce our guests. So, Dr. Perez?
Thank you, Dr. Rios. Good evening, everyone. So as Dr. Rios has mentioned, our school district, with the support of our Board of Trustees, we have implemented layers of protection throughout our school district for every single campus and, of course, for our facilities as well. So if you look at the slides, you will notice that we have, and Chief Hale will be talking about this, under House Bill 3, we have an armed police officer in every campus. So that has been accomplished. Then we also have a number of other initiatives that we've undertaken to include, again, let me put my glasses on. The security guards, again, we do have a minimum of 1 security guard at every elementary campus, and then we have additional security guards at the secondary campuses. As Dr. Rios has mentioned, we are going to have some auditors, some individuals that are going to come. They are under the auspices of Texas Education Agency. They will try to come into our campuses. They will attempt to open an exterior door. And so if they get in, then we fail. So part of our plan has been that I myself, my staff, my department, and of course everybody else that is helping goes about and tries to see if they can enter each of the campuses, because we want to make sure that our students are safe, that our employees are safe, and that nobody can enter, no intruder can come in other than the primary entrance that we've designated. So as you have visited your particular campus or your respective campus, you will notice that we have one entrance once the instructional day begins. We only have one primary entrance. You have to press the button and you go through the visitor management Raptor protocol system, where we're asking several questions. What is the purpose of your visit? And so on and so on. So these are some of the things that we are implementing. We did it last year. I believe we did very well. As Dr. Rios mentioned, she's already received the call, and we're beginning the year. I was told when we went to Region 1 last week, I was advised that the program would begin September 18th. So obviously, Dr. Rios did receive the call. Chief Hale did receive the call that the auditors are coming. However, we don't know what campuses they're going to visit and at what time. So we always have to be ready, and that's how we keep everyone at our campuses on alert, always on high alert. We also have the metal detector screening. So as you will know, once you walk into the campus, you will probably go through the metal detector. We do have the practice of utilizing the metal detector to screen for guns and knives. I personally carry with me on my person a little semblance of what we call a gun, but it is just a semblance. It's just metal. And so I've trained all of our front office, I've trained our security guards, our police officers, our safety officers, and so on and so forth, so that everybody knows that whenever they see an individual, I told them to be thinking of Mr. Perez hiding something on his person so that they need to check. So if that metal detector goes on, then we have to use the handheld one and check to see what metal you are carrying. And so that's another layer of protection that we utilize at each one of our campuses. Again, our Board of Trustees and the leadership of our Dr. Rios, we have purchased metal detectors, one for each of the elementary campuses, and more than 2 for the middle schools and the high schools. Today we were on the evaluation committee to purchase additional metal detectors for our elementary campuses and our secondary campuses. So at the end of all this, we will have 2 metal detectors for every elementary campus. One will probably be in the very front, and of course the other one will be probably in the gym or the cafeteria when we have meetings for parents and visitors. So additional layers of protection include behavior threat assessment, visitor management protocols. Behavior threat assessment, we have a behavior threat assessment team in every campus that are certified by the Texas School Safety Center. So again, every time that we hear of a threat, then a behavior threat assessment team has to be activated, and of course our district team is there to support. But we do find out and investigate and assess if it is a real threat or if it's something that we can continue working with. If it's a real threat, then of course we're going to contact our Laredo ISD Police Department and of course all the other law enforcement agencies. Continuing with the layers of protection, we do have the mandated fire drills. That's an expectation. We have one every month. We go above and beyond what the state requires. We also have the security cameras under the direction of Mr. Ambrose Gomez. And again, I know that we are continually putting new cameras in as needed to replace the old ones. I've already discussed the use of the primary entrance. Again, we're only designating one primary entrance at every campus once the instructional day begins. Dr. Rios and I've already spoken about the intruder detection audit. We continue looking to see if we can get in. I remember about this time last year, I went to Ryan, and some parent called Ryan Elementary, and they stated, there's a man with a coat and tie with long hair trying to get into the campus. Please go over there and stop him. And so the assistant principal and the security guard went and stopped me on the fourth door. So those are the things that we're placing people on high alert to make sure they're always looking at the cameras also to see if they see somebody. I know that just last week I went to a campus, and on the third door, right behind the cafeteria, the security guard and the assistant principal came and stopped me. So those are the things that we're expecting from our staff. And of course, not to mention the 3-year cycle that we just completed. We completed a 3-year cycle. It's a safety audit that we have to look at every instructional facility and, of course, additional facilities for departments. We submitted the report. We continue now with our next 3-year cycle. And, of course, Chief Hill will be speaking about the See Something, Say Something program. Otra vez les agradecemos que hayan venido, nos han honrado con su tiempo para hablar de la protección que proveemos para todos nuestros niños. Tenemos las personas de seguridad, tenemos los policías, tenemos los protocolos para cuando lleguen a la escuela, tienen que oprimir el botón, pedir permiso para entrar, pasar por el detector de metales. Tenemos muchas capas de protección, ¿verdad?, para asegurar a todos nuestros niños todos los días, para asegurar a nuestros empleados, para que puedan ellos tener el potencial de aprender cada día de instrucción. That's all I have, Dr. Rios. Thank you very much. Gracias, muy amable.
So I want to make this announcement para todos los padres de familia. Empezando el año que viene, en agosto, vamos a practicar que, bueno, no practicar. El año que viene se va a requerir the plastic backpacks. Okay, we want to see the backpacks, the plastic. I don't know how you say in Spanish. There you go. Okay, I believe you. I believe you. Let me tell you why we're doing the plastic backpacks. There you go. Can somebody please? Yes. Let me tell you why. Because every student that goes into our school has to get checked. And it is easier for officials, whoever is at the door, to see what's in the backpack. Now, I know kids. I was a high school principal for, 7 years. So I can tell you this, actually for almost 10 years. As a high school principal, I know that kids find different ways of bringing things to school. I am very proud of the fact that we worked very well together with all of the law enforcement agencies, the last threat that we have. I know that our Board of Trustees is very interested in this, but I want to start making this announcement because as we start making this announcement, and it is going to come before the Board of Trustees, we are also going to be asking our retailers, all of the stores, to start thinking about what it is necessary so that everybody can have a backpack that is clear and see-through. This is for the safety of our kids. Is it required this year? No. But I know that if you go to Shirley Field, if you go to an event here, we're asking you to bring a clear bag. That is, some people might say, pues es una necesidad. No, it might be, but we're thinking ahead. We're thinking, what is it that we can do to safeguard our children? And I think that the Board of Trustees will agree with me that between now and August of next year, el año que viene, vamos a ver cómo le hacemos porque es algo que se va a requerir. It's going to be required. And I think that if there is any other changes, we will let you know. We're not asking you to do this right now, but we are asking you to think ahead, and for our department stores to think ahead, and for anyone who is in this room to pass the message. Right now, we already have the clear bags for events, but we want to extend that. And I know that it's going to take some discussion, and I know that we're going to be looking for ways to make it easier for parents to accomplish this. But I know that we're all on the same page. We value our kids. We know that it is important to work together, and we need to be able to put things together so that it can happen, so that we can take care of our kids in the best way possible. So beginning next year, and I know that our Board of Trustees is already contemplating this, right? They're going, yes, yes, thank you. And so as we move forward, this is something that we're going to be thinking about. Not this year, but next year, when your children are in the next grade level. And probably in the summer, there's going to be a campaign to make that happen. So as we move forward, we have to think ahead. We have to, and as Mr. Perez said, there's always going to be new requirements. Every time that we have a threat, we learn from it. One of the things that we learned at the city was how everybody came together to make sure that we responded in a way that kept our kids and our staff safe. Yes, we had to let out school. If you think about Laredo College, what happened to them too? Might have been a real threat, might not have been. But I know that if we work together with our law enforcement agencies, whether they're local or out of town or somewhere else, we can make sure that our schools are safe. So with that being said, I'd like to ask Chief Hale to please come up here, talk a little bit, and then introduce our guest speakers. Chief Hale.
Good afternoon, everyone. Here with me today is Lieutenant Camarillo, who will be representing the Spanish version of my presentation here today. On behalf of the Laredo Independent School District Police Department, we welcome you, all parents, to this informative session. I am Doreen Hale, the Chief of Police for LISD Police Department, which is composed of 47 officers and 75 security guards. Our department is committed to taking proactive measures to protect the safety of all our students, staff, members, and school community. I want all parents to rest assured that we have made and continue to make, okay, somebody will bring that up. I'm sorry. Our department is committed to taking proactive measures. I want all parents to be reassured that we have made preparations to deal effectively and swiftly with any emergency situation that could occur in or around our school districts while classes are in session. While we hope and pray that a serious incident never occurs in our district, our goal is to be prepared as possible for any potential emergency using all the tools available to us so that we may respond immediately with whatever force is necessary. We work together as a team with many local, state, and federal agencies who assist us in keeping our students safe here at LISD. LISD's PD's priority at all times is to protect our students and staff from harm so that the district can continue providing a quality education.
Buenas tardes. A nombre del Distrito Escolar Independiente de Laredo del Departamento de Policía, me gustaría darle la bienvenida a nuestra sesión informativa de padres. Yo, el Teniente Ernesto Camarillo del Departamento de Policía del Distrito de Laredo, cual consiste de 47 oficiales y 75 oficiales de seguridad. Nuestro departamento está comprometido a tomar medidas y proactivas para proteger y salvaguardar a todos nuestros estudiantes, miembros del personal y la comunidad escolar. Tenga la seguridad de que hemos hecho los preparativos pertinentes para abordar eficazmente y rápidamente con situaciones de emergencias que podrían ocurrir en alrededor de nuestro distrito mientras las clases están en sesión. Si bien esperamos y rezamos para que nunca ocurra un incidente grave, nuestro objetivo es estar lo más preparados posible para cualquier emergencia potencial, utilizando todos los peajes que tenemos en nuestra disposición, para que podamos responder inmediatamente con toda la fuerza que sea necesaria. Trabajamos juntos como un equipo con muchas agencias locales, estatales y federales que nos ayudan a mantener segura nuestra familia LISD. La prioridad del Distrito Escolar Independiente de Laredo en todo momento es de proteger a nuestros estudiantes y personal de cualquier daño para que el distrito pueda continuar brindando una educación de calidad.
We have added some extra layers of protection to help keep our LISD family safe and educated. House Bill 3, like Dr. Perez has mentioned, has been passed by the legislature and it has taken effect as of September 1st of this year. This requires us to have at least one armed guard at every campus, an extra layer of protection. Police audits, that's something that started last year with our department. The LISD Police Department conducts audits every month to our different campuses to check for any vulnerabilities that the schools may have. For example, we dress our officers in civilian clothing and we have them go into the schools and try to see if there's any open doors, if anybody is walking around, any intruders that may be walking around our schools. We check to see that all visitors are being checked and properly identified in the main entrances of our campuses and other things to that nature. Next, we have the Law Enforcement Against Drugs and Violence program, something that we started last year as well. It's also known as LEAD. LEAD is the most rapidly growing school-based kinder through 12th grade drug prevention program in the United States. This program offers the most effective, evidence-based, tested and proven curriculum delivered by us law enforcement officers. Our officers go out to our elementary schools and we target our third graders and we visit with them every Tuesday and Thursday and give them a lesson each week that we're there. Also, we have our campaign called See Something, Say Something, like Dr. Perez had mentioned. Now, this is an anonymous hotline that anybody can call, text, or email if they see anything that may be suspicious in or around our schools, especially any online threats. The phone number to this program, to this campaign, is 956-225-5454. You can also find that on our website, as well as our email address to this, where you can email anonymously as well, csay@laredoisd.org. Also, please know that LISD and its 31 campuses have developed crisis and safety plans with the assistance of the safety department administrators and the staff members, in partnership with the professionally trained and certified members of the Laredo ISD Police Department and other law enforcement agencies. Our plans are reviewed and updated regularly in keeping with local, state, and federal guidelines. These crisis and safety plans include procedures to respond to a variety of crisis incidents. While we are confident in our systems and procedures, LISD is always looking for ways to strengthen our emergency methods and responses. In order for our safety and security plans to be effective, we depend on the cooperation and assistance of many, to include our local law enforcement agency and first responders, like Laredo Police Department that's here today.
Hemos agregado algunas capas de protección para ayudar a mantener segura y educada a nuestra familia del Distrito Escolar Independiente de Laredo. El proyecto de la Ley 3 de la Cámara de Representantes fue aprobado por la legislatura entre el vigor y el 1 de septiembre de 2023. Esto requiere que todos los campos escolares tengan al menos un oficial armado en cada campus. Auditoriales policiales. El Departamento de Policía del Distrito Escolar Independiente de Laredo realiza auditorías cada mes en nuestros diferentes campos para verificar las debilidades que puede tener la escuela. Por ejemplo, alguien puede haber dejado una puerta abierta. Verifiquemos si hay intrusos en los alrededores de las escuelas. También verifiquemos si los visitantes están siendo controlados e identificados correctamente en la entrada principal de la escuela. Programas de la aplicación de la ley contra las drogas y violencia, también conocido como LID. El programa con las siglas LEAD es el programa de prevención de drogas escolar de más rápido crecimiento desde el jardín de infantes hasta el 12 grado en los Estados Unidos. Este programa ofrece el plan de estudios examinados y aprobados en evidencia más eficaz impartido por las fuerzas del orden. Nuestros oficiales llegan a nuestros campos de primaria y dan una lección sobre diferentes temas a nuestros estudiantes de tercer grado 2 veces por semana. Además, tenemos nuestra campaña Ver algo, diga algo. Esta es una línea directa anónima a la que cualquiera puede llamar, probar o enviar un correo electrónico si veo algo sospechoso en la escuela o sus alrededores, o también cualquier amenaza en la línea. El teléfono para esto es 956-225-5454 o envía un correo electrónico a csay@laredoisd.org. 956-225-5454 o envía un correo electrónico al csay@laredoisd.org. Yes. O está en el panfleto aquí pueden agarrar el correo.
And more importantly, we depend upon the parents of our students to support our efforts in keeping our children safe. This cooperation is vital to preserve the safety and welfare of our children and employees. And as we all know, the safety of our students is a shared responsibility. As always, we are here to protect not only our children enrolled in LISD, but all those children throughout our community, because they are all our children. And as we must protect them, as we protect our own children, our own sons, our own daughters, without hesitation and without reservation. To all parents, thank you for taking your time to be here with us today. Next, I'd like to introduce you to our partners, our law enforcement partners, and our friends. Our new Chief of Police, Miguel Rodriguez, and Investigator Joy Baeza, who will be talking to you about important topics that you need to hear about. We want to thank the Laredo Police Department for being here with us today.
Good evening. Buenas noches. Mi nombre es Miguel Rodríguez, su nuevo jefe de policía de la Policía de Laredo. Thank you. Gracias. Quiero primeramente comenzar en tratar de introducir al que va a presentar, porque dice su nombre. So le dije ahorita, dice tu nombre, tú vas a hacer la presentación. Pero a lo que voy es, hemos oído bastantito de lo que estamos haciendo para proteger sus niños. Y algo muy importante que quisiera compartir con ustedes hoy es lo que el Departamento de Policía está haciendo desde el día de ayer, es poner un grupo en marcha para poder pensar un poquito más en cómo reducir el miedo, la ansiedad y el susto que le damos a sus hijos
cuando hacemos nosotros una acción, una respondencia, algo crítico. ¿Por qué? Porque los oímos de que siempre están preocupados. Y nosotros lo que queremos es de que ellos vayan a las escuelas para aprender, para que no vayan con esa mortificación de qué va a pasar. Voy a ir a casa hoy, va a venir alguien y va a hacer un tiroteo, va a venir alguien con una arma, tengo que estar al pendiente, y si miro algo, tengo que reportarlo, tengo que decirle a la maestra. Entonces, la función de este grupo es cómo reducir esa ansiedad, ese miedo a nuestros hijos. Desde el día de ayer estamos tratando de ver acá cómo vamos a poner esto en acción y compartir esto y traer a lo que es el Departamento de Policía de LISD, UISD, los colegios y las escuelas privadas. Bien importante para lo que estamos haciendo en el Departamento de Policía. Porque así como le hemos dado a ustedes una de las comunidades más seguras del país, queremos darle también ese tipo de respondencia a las criaturas que están yendo a clases. Entonces, eso es algo que yo me he comprometido con la comunidad para poder darles ese apoyo a las agencias que están aquí. Y yo he visto el plan del LISD Police, lo he visto completamente, de UISD también. Y quiero decirles yo que si yo pudiera dar un grado a ese plan, es un A+, es un 10, porque tienen muy buen plan de acción. Entonces, lo que vamos a seguir haciendo esas capas de seguridad para que ustedes se sientan seguros de mandar a sus hijos a las escuelas. Y cuando hay que haber respondencia y acción para mandarlos a casa, tenemos todo el compromiso nosotros y nos vamos a responder y vamos a darles la información con toda transparencia, que no haya secretos de lo que estamos haciendo. Algo que se ha comunicado aquí también, dígame. Yes, sir. As soon as we finish with the presentation, sir, we'll give you that option. All right, sir? We keep on talking about the situations at the schools and how we respond and the safety. One of the things that I want to share also with you tonight is that the number cause of injuries, the one thing that causes more injuries to a teenager is not vaping, is not any self-inflicted weapon or a knife being used at them, is accidents, traffic accidents. And I want you to take this home so you can talk to your children and let them know, especially your teenagers that are already driving, that the number one cause for them getting injured is traffic accidents, crashes. And we've seen them over and over again. What we're doing as a department, we're increasing our traffic officers. You're going to see more of those motorcycle cops. You're going to see a lot more of them in Cuatro Vientos, Loop 20, in areas that we identified that people are speeding or using their phones when they're not supposed to. Let me put it to you that way. But that's going to be increased. There's going to be more technology coming to Laredo that's going to be utilized to be able to reduce those traffic accidents, because we've seen them. Year to date, 19 deaths. Too many for Laredo. Too many. Again, we're going to address that, and we're going to make sure that we bring that number to zero. But we need your help. We need your help in talking to your teenagers, talking to your young adults at home, to make sure that they understand this, because it's important. It's very important. With that in mind, I'm going to leave my presenter, my good friend Joey. But again, we are always working together with LISD Police. Chief Hill, not only a colleague, but a very good friend of mine. We're always talking. So I really appreciate everything that she's done after she became chief. The same thing goes with the chief from UISD, great friend, and we're always in constant communication. But if you have any questions for the police department, please feel free to go by and visit. We're there. Sometimes I'm not there. They can get a hold of me, and I'll be more than glad to speak to you. So please do that.
Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118 Thank you, Chief. And again, we'd like to thank also the trustees, Dr. Rios, everyone else here, Chief Hale, and most importantly, all of you for allowing us the privilege of speaking to you today. We know how valuable your time is. It's a sacrifice for you guys to be here today. It matters to you, your children matter to you, and your children matter to us. They're our kids. So the one thing that we want to leave you with is a couple of things that have been coming up, and Chief Hale asked me to speak about some points. Consequently, since we are at LISD, and I'm not talking about anybody else, talking bad about anybody else, both Chief Mike and I are byproducts of LISD schools. Nixon, Chief Hale, Nixon, there's a couple of other people, so sí se puede, right? That's what we say here in Laredo. So we're very appreciative of the environment that we grew up in. We're obviously had good experiences that allowed us to succeed, so thank you so much to LISD always. For us, en español brevemente, gracias por darnos el honor de hablar con ustedes hoy en la noche. Simplemente reconocemos qué valoroso es su tiempo, so queremos darles un poco de información de ciertos temas que nos ha pedido Chief Hale a platicar con ustedes. Después, si tienen más preguntas o quieren hacer declaraciones o algo, estamos aquí para servirles y vamos a estar aquí al lado para hacer cualquier respuesta para sus preguntas. One of the top things that we want to touch about is some of the issues concerning vaping, the use of vape pens. El uso de los aparatos y las plumas de vapor, los cigarros de vapor. These are issues that we see that are increasing every day at our schools. It's increasing use in younger people, and it's causing a dependency on a chemical to help them cope with issues. And it's starting at a younger age. El uso de la pluma de vapor está causando es muy preocupante simplemente porque ellos están empezando más y más jóvenes y están dependiendo mucho en las químicas que están en esos sistemas de entregar el humo. Y como van progresando en sus vidas, más y más están dependiendo en el uso de químicas para resolver problemas. Para nosotros lo preocupante es obviamente lo que está sucediendo aquí en nuestra ciudad como en otros lugares, es la fentanila. La fentanila ha cambiado todo para nosotros y todas las diferentes ciudades de los Estados Unidos. Fentanyl is a game changer for everybody. We are seeing a drastic rise in overdose deaths. To date, we are at 46. We're not done with the year yet. Last year, the whole year, we had 40 overdose deaths. So we're obviously very concerned about making sure that our young people are not depending on chemical dependencies and perhaps graduating to other things. Does it necessarily guarantee that it's going to happen? Obviously not. Not everybody who takes a vape pen is going to turn into a drug addict, but it is affecting everybody. We want to make sure that you communicate with your children because actually that, in our opinion, my humble opinion, it starts at home. So for us, what are we doing about it? How come you guys aren't going after the criminals? Well, actually, a couple of weeks ago, the police department, actually, in conjunction with other law enforcement agencies, was able to effect an arrest on a person and actually charge them with the death of a person who actually took fentanyl and caused that person's death. It's actually very difficult to do that. Hace unas cuantas semanas el departamento efectuó un arresto en concierto con otras agencias policíacas, una persona que entregó una droga que causó la muerte de un joven de 15 años y tenía fentanil. Es una misión muy importante y para nosotros queremos atraer eso a sus atenciones porque hay que hablar con los jóvenes. Chief.
Well, I can add to that. That's 46 deaths year to date because of fentanyl. Way too many. 46 deaths. Just to give you a little bit of what the numbers were in 2020, we only had 17 deaths in the whole year. And again, fentanyl last year did a pretty bad number on our statistics, but this year is worse. So we are collaborating with the District Attorney's Office, the Assistant U.S. Attorney's Office, the Drug Enforcement Administration, the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, and we're going after the person that is providing these drugs to the users. What we don't want is for that drug to be given to your children. So we're going after them very aggressively. We have 6 active investigations. Well, we had 7, 1 is already arrested, the other 6 are coming pretty soon. So this is just to send a message that we're not gonna tolerate anybody providing fentanyl or drugs laced with fentanyl, whether it's cocaine, heroin, or even the vape pens. We're very, very aggressively going after them. So 46, way too many. 46 muertes de fentanyl es mucho, es bastante. Y no lo vamos a permitir, y sí vamos a ir bien agresivamente contra esas personas que están dándole esta droga a los que, los que usan la droga, ya sea por recreación o por nomás por primera vez que quieren tomar la droga. Es bien importante que sus hijos sepan que cualquier cosa de fentanyl puede causar muerte. So, again, thank you. Es un polvo blanco, es polvo blanco, lo mezclan con la cocaína o lo mezclan con otra droga, pero es como la punta de un lápiz, es todo lo que se necesita para causar la muerte de una persona.
Padres, como hicimos aquí en la frontera, pónganse muy pilas, porque simplemente han afectado a los jóvenes de que están escondiendo estos artefactos en los cuartos. Sus jóvenes les encantan encerrarse en los cuartos. Atención, padres. Llamadas muy misteriosas en la noche. Atención, padres. Vi cabezas que se movieron. Es muy importante tener ese diálogo con los hijos, porque francamente ese diálogo empieza en la casa, con mucho respeto. Y la cosa es de que no empieza atrás de una patrulla y mucho menos en la cárcel, o peor. Queremos poner esa atención y simplemente nosotros estamos aquí para asistirlos. Reconocemos que tan duro es, trabajan duro todo el día, regresan a casa, esa comunicación en veces todos perdidos en el aparato. Esa comunicación familiar es muy importante. A guiar y consejos de mamá o papá es más importante hoy que nunca. Yo entiendo que tan duro es a comunicarse y entender de dónde viene ahorita la juventud. Están en un mundo diferente de nosotros. Les suplico que por favor, si necesitan ayuda de nosotros, estamos aquí para ayudarles en ese aspecto. Otro tema que también hemos visto últimamente es lo que se ha visto mucho por redes sociales o por internet. Es una cosa que cada día es una cosa nueva para avisarles a los padres. The issue concerning social media, crimes, and all these other issues regarding, the internet, these are moving at a faster pace every day we go on. There's nothing that's the same than I first started with the department, and it's moving rather quickly. There are new ways of victimizing someone in your own home, and you may not even know what's going on. If you have a teen or a child who is locked up in the room all day, all night, with a phone, with a computer, and you don't even need those devices, it could be a PlayStation with internet access. All these things are new ways to reach and victimize a young person, and they may not even know it. They think they're talking to another teenager, they think they're talking to a person their age, and they're actually talking to an adult. It's very important that you have constant communication. We understand how difficult it is. You guys are working hard all day, and everybody's lost on the phone. But you need to have good communication, now more than ever with your children about these issues. We've seen an increase in certain crimes, even blackmail crimes, on social media. Teens think that they're talking to a handsome guy or a pretty girl. They ask them to take pictures, and then they send those pictures, and then all those pictures are out there. And then sometimes they try blackmailing them for money. That is happening right here in our city. That is happening at both school districts, and it's increasing every day. Be very careful and have those conversations about, and it doesn't matter if they're talking to a person who they've never met before in person, or if it's a person who they're in a romantic relationship with. You need to have that conversation and be very clear that once they share, especially an embarrassing picture of themselves, it's very hard to keep control who has it. Chief.
And the Investigator Reyes have pretty much touched on all the points on social media, but it's not only social media. TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, and then you got your Fortnite, Modern Warfare, MLB The Show, and then we got for the little ones, Roblox, and all Minecraft and all those other games. That's where they get them. So pay attention to who they're talking to when they're playing. It might seem something that is just, the child is doing, playing Roblox, building things, Minecraft. But that's where they get them. So you need to pay very close attention to who they're chatting, because it can be a perpetrator. It can be that person that is asking them to do things. So pay attention to that. If they ask you for a Snapchat and you're allowing for a Snapchat account, make sure they give you the password. And when they go to sleep, check on it. See who he has friended. Very important that you do that. If they don't like it, let's be parents, take it away. Take it away. That's what I do. I allow them, but I have all their passwords. So again, very important that you just don't focus on social media, because it's on every game, PlayStation, Xbox, Samsung tablet, iPad, iPhone. It's everywhere. Make sure you check those devices.
También queremos hablar un poco de las personas que que tienen niños que quizás tienen experiencias con cyberbullying. Cyberbullying es un proceso de casi aterrorizar a una persona, aunque la persona ya está en la escuela. Ya no es antes que ya ibas a la casa y ya descansas un poco. Ahora ya te sigue a la escuela, a la casa, perdón. Ahora ya te sigue a la casa ese ataque personal, emocional. Los niños ya no quieren ir a la escuela, unos de ellos. Y en otros extremos también, ellos a veces hasta consideran otras opciones donde se quieren ellos mismos lastimar. Son cosas que para nosotros la ley y la tecnología en veces no está emparejado y en veces se tarda para alcanzar la tecnología. Se lo voy a ser muy sincero. La legislatura del Estado en veces se tarda para alcanzar los crímenes que son nuevos por la tecnología. Si tienen problemas, no se esperen. Repórtenlo inmediatamente y hay nuevas leyes estatales que pueden ayudarlos. In case you are a parent of a person or of a child who is experiencing bullying, we highly urge you to act on it quickly and don't let it manifest itself where the child doesn't want to go to school anymore, and then also the child is also having much darker thoughts than that. The state law is, sometimes the state legislature is slow in catching up with the technology and the new crimes that are associated with it. So we highly recommend that you stay, in tune with changes in behaviors or anything that is apparent that is going on with your child at home. Before I leave you with doom and gloom, I always like to leave things on a high note. How many people here know This is the did you know part of our little conversation. I'll make it really quick. Did you know that you can actually text 911? ¿Sabían que podían mandar texto al 911? Si en caso están en una situación en casa, no importa dónde, el trabajo, hay un argumento, algo está pasando en el lugar de trabajo, pueden y no pueden hablar en voz alta, pueden mandar texto a 911 y es como hacer una llamada de emergencia. If you are in a situation where you cannot speak out loud and you need 911 immediately, you can actually text 911. It is like making an emergency phone call. I don't know if you all knew that. Hopefully, whoever came today learned something and share it with you, with your friends and neighbors. But you can actually text 911. We have the technology now to do that. If we also invite you to please follow our Laredo Police Department Facebook page. It's not like any other Facebook page because it's actually kept up in real time. If there are actual emergencies, if there's something that's verified, we will inform the community there. There's a lot of misinformation that goes on social media. If it's posted on our Facebook page, it's probably because it's been double and triple confirmed before we posted it. También invitamos mucho a la comunidad que si no están sintonizados con la página de Facebook para nosotros, por favor, les invitamos que nos sigan en Facebook, también estamos en Instagram y también Twitter or X or whatever it's called now. Mucha la información está mala o exagerada en redes sociales y si está en la página del departamento está probablemente doble y triple confirmado. So, para evitar todos esos problemas y mala información, invitamos que por favor nos sigan en esas páginas. Hablando de las escuelas de LISD, el departamento ya tiene acceso a las cámaras de las escuelas de LISD. Están por parte del Real Time Crime Center y ellos tienen acceso. Si en caso hay una emergencia, inmediatamente pueden tomar visibilidad del lugar donde se está afectando la situación. Y ya tienen ojos mientras que los oficiales están llegando. Ya saben dónde está el problema. Through the cooperation of the school board and obviously Dr. Rios and everyone else involved, LPD's Real-Time Crime Center now has access to the LISD campuses in case of an emergency. We're not Big Brother. We're not spying on your kids or anything else. If there's an actual crisis emergency, we have instant access to those cameras to be able to give instant real-time information to our officers as they get to that school. That's what it's for. And we're working really hard to try to get that to UISD as well. But UISD has a lot more schools than LISD. But we're getting there. Chief?
I just want to thank all the parents, the moms that are here. I see that we're missing some dads. I'm probably missing my son's safety initiatives too. But I just want to thank you for being here tonight. I know some of us could be watching Netflix, waiting for the next episode of your favorite series. But this is very important, and I thank you for that. So very thankful to Dr. Rios, the superintendents, our board of directors for inviting us and having us here tonight. Again, thank you for being here. Bien agradecido por su presencia hoy. Bien importante esta iniciativa que se hizo de parte de LISD. Y bien agradecido con la doctora Ríos, los superintendientes que están aquí y la mesa directiva de LISD y la jefa de policía de LISD por tenernos hoy aquí. Muchas gracias.
Good evening, parents. Okay, Mr. Valentin, can you wait until the end of the session? We're almost over. Good evening, parents. Thank you for all joining us today in this important meeting. Please remember that safety begins at home, and commitment, it is crucial. Let's work together and create a safe environment for our children and set a positive example. Stay informed. We're going to have more sessions like this one to keep you informed. Communicate openly, just like the police department recommended. Please make sure you talk to your kids. don't only let them use their electronic devices and be by themselves. And prioritize the safety of your kids at home as we prioritize the safety of our students and employees at our school district. We would like to thank all our partners in the community for always being there, but the number one partners that we have is you parents. Thank you for being here tonight and making our district the number one district in the state. I do want to say it in Spanish for our parents who don't speak English. Gracias a todos los padres por acompañarnos en esta junta de información. Recuerden que la seguridad comienza en casa y su compromiso como padre de familia es muy importante. Así como dijeron los policías ahorita, como padres de familia, hablen con sus hijos, conversen un poquito más. Si hay que quitar un poquito el celular mientras cenan, mientras comen para conversar, es muy buena esa conversación para que ellos mismos sepan lo que está pasando con ustedes y lo que ustedes sepan que está pasando con sus hijos. Trabajemos juntos para crear un ambiente de seguridad para sus hijos, para nuestros estudiantes y nuestros empleados en nuestro distrito. Queremos siempre tener un ambiente positivo de seguridad y para que ellos puedan aprender todo lo que les queremos enseñar. Manténganse informados porque vamos a seguir teniendo este tipo de sesiones con información del distrito para que también podamos aprender juntos a hacerlo mejor para todos los estudiantes. Juntos podemos hacer la diferencia en las vidas de nuestros estudiantes. Gracias por estar aquí. Buenas noches. Ahorita, después de la sesión, vamos a hacer los últimos premios antes de que se nos vayan y lo vamos a hacer la sesión. Vamos a estar enfrente si hay alguna pregunta. El ganador. Agarren sus numeritos. Déjenme agarrar los lentecitos. 423, 455. 423, 455. Chao. 423, 105. 423, 105. 423,